Hello, good morning. I hope your day is starting out really bright and beautiful, or continuing really bright and beautiful if you're tapping in a little bit later in the day. A little bit different schedule on these Facebook Lives for the next few days as I am heading to Portland today to help out with the Millionaire Mind Intensive. If you're interested in that, you can always contact me, but that's been huge in my development of my relationship with my money, but also a lot of business development and personal development, and just a great network of people. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm now actually a lead coach for this training organization, which is really fun. So what we're going to talk about is how to be absolutely happy. The first word I want to give you is balance. I said that with energy, and really balance comes with anything. And if we're going to be happy, we have to find the right balance for ourselves. So that definitely is taking care of ourselves in a way that's going to make us happy. How much sleep do we need? What type of food do we need? If we can't get those things, then, thank you, Angel, then what can we do Angel just congratulated me on becoming a lead coach. But if you can't get those things like enough sleep or the right food or the right environment or all of your time to meditate, then what is going to be your trick for staying happy in those situations? And one trick I'll just give you really quickly on that is to check out my video on Avital's favorite energization exercises in YouTube. And that will give you something to just very quickly, because that just takes a minute, shift your energy around. But next thing I want you to think about with that idea of balance, it's not just about how you're going about your daily life, but then it's also making sure that you are getting filled up so that there is something to give, right? So an empty cup has nothing to pour out of itself, but a full cup does. Where do we get that ultimate fulfillment? It's from God. That's where we get the depth to be able to give anything possible. In reality, as we're learning to connect more and more deeply with God, you're going to go back to those steps that I said earlier about balance. A couple things for me I've noticed is that if I'm too much in the masculine, then I'm getting a little worn out and not so happy. So the other night I called up a male friend of mine just to talk about, what was going on, because I was holding a very masculine position, and just in talking with him, I was able to get support from the masculine, so my masculinity didn't have to carry it all. Another thing I've noticed is if I'm in a relationship, especially a romantic relationship, where I want the balance of giving and taking to be equal, but I find myself continually overly giving and not getting as much as I'm giving, then I also feel like I get worn out and unhappy. So I need to shift that around to create that balance that works for me in those scenarios. So those are a couple ideas of making sure that we're filled up enough. The third way, I'll just say the deepest way, is through taking that time to actually sit with God. Now, God is in everything, but what we want to do is sit with the God within ourselves and sit with our own heart. So you can do a formal meditation practice, or you can simply sit and be quiet, put your hand on your heart, and just feel that and breathe into that so you feel yourself, because all of the beauty that you need exists right there in your heart. So I'm going to keep going here because I want to keep taking this a little bit deeper for you. But the next thing, which is a little bit simpler concept, is just to make sure that you're doing what makes you happy. So why are we happy? Because we're doing what makes us happy. But then what I want to say about that is the amount that we can do that makes us happy expands as we grow and as we continue to tap into God more deeply within ourselves, so that that cup starts to become like the big wide ocean There was this cute conversation between my spiritual teacher Swami Kriyananda and our guru Paramahansa Yogananda, and Swami really wanted to be able to give as much love as Yogananda, and Yogananda sensed that, but he said, a cup can't hold the whole ocean. So there's parts of ourselves that need to be able to keep expanding and opening to capacitate more. And that goes back to simply following the steps I've been giving you in the video, meditating, doing your self-growth things so that you can expand and give more to people. This will also naturally happen as we grow, I believe. As long as you're letting go of the past, as long as you're working through what's happened in the past. If you continue to carry more and more of the past and you don't heal it, then you're going to be giving less rather than more. You're going to be feeling less happiness. And I will tell you one more tip that helps me expand. That's really, really fun. And some of you who've been watching my Facebook wall probably noticed all of a sudden I realized that I've been spamming everyone because I have so much to celebrate. And celebration begins with just celebrating literally the small stuff. So I woke up really early this morning because there's a lot of things that I wanted to get done before this trip that will really help out a lot with my business and my communications. It's automating the email system. But that's actually not a quick task. That takes a lot of time to set up and to understand and to choose which system I'm going to use. And so basically within that research, I came to completion with just one small little task. And so I said, okay, I got one thing done. I'm going to celebrate that. But all these other celebrations on Facebook are also things that I've been choosing to bring into my life, right? I just got a certificate to be ordained as a minister so I can officiate people's weddings, which sounds like a total blast. I just became a lead coach for this organization. That's huge. I get to come here to the beach, which is amazing. I get to go to Portland, spend time with my friends, go to a concert with this amazing Krishna Das, who many of us have heard about. I'd never seen him before. Got to meet him one-on-one and get some personal advice from him. So I could go on and on and on. But each of these pieces are a celebration. And the more celebration we have, it's like creating a momentum or a movement of energy towards happiness. So what can you celebrate and feel that sense? Now, this is also very important because I mentioned choosing situations where you feel happy. So just doing what you feel happy about. But you're going to be in scenarios, whether it's at work or like we were in the Enlightened Warrior training camp the week before last, and there's going to be some times where we don't want to participate. That's just a feeling within us. But as we expand and as we take that time to feel the God within, then we're actually going to not need the activity to make us feel happy, but we are going to apply our happiness to the activity. So this is very interesting. Applying the happiness to the activity. That means that we're already naturally happy, and it's easier to find what is exciting about each activity that we do. I'll share one more story to close. One of my teachers was telling the story about I think cutting or shaving lemons. And she was just joyfully going about it, and then somebody came by and asked if she could help, and she says sure. So she hands her some lemons and the thing to do the carving. I might not be saying exactly what they were doing right, but basically this person started carving. He's like, this is really hard. And then my teacher goes, okay, well, I'll just switch with you. You can use these. And switches, and she's like, this isn't very fun. I'm going to go do something else. And she runs off. But yeah, my teacher was just joyfully doing this activity the entire time. And the other person might not have been caught up by how hard it was or whether or not it was fun if she was able to find the joy in that activity. So what could be that joy inside of you? What's your driver for life? What's bringing you to want to do things in life? Maybe your driver is that you have a goal you want to accomplish, that you want to bring world peace, that you want to make a certain amount of money in your job so that you could then invest it in another fun activity. Maybe you have family that you care for, or kids that you have. Maybe you're caring for aging parents, whatever it might be. But there's that driver, that impetus. And if you imagine that what you're doing is serving that aspect, even if it's the ability to find joy within you so that you have more of a driver to go in the direction that you want to go, it'll make things a lot easier. Since the Enlightened Warrior Camp, I've been accomplishing a lot and doing a lot of tasks that I've just been putting off or avoiding. And a lot of that just had to do with not having the momentum, with not having enough energy moving in the direction that I want it to go. So things that can seem boring or hard to do more easily seem boring or hard to do. When we build more momentum, it's a lot easier and we find the joy in it. So I hope this was joyful for you. I hope this was helpful. And if it was, please continue to write those comments. Some of you have been writing some great comments below on the Facebook Live video. But please like the video, please share it so that others can feel the wonderful expression of joy that they have the potential within them. So much love to you. So tomorrow morning, around 7 a.m., I think, I'll find out later today exactly what my timing is for tomorrow, and then I'll be able to come on with a more consistent time. Much love and blessings to you. Bye-bye.